Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Shadow Palkia. This Pokemon literally just got released for me in game as well, and so we're going to take a look at this one straight away in the Go Battle League in the Color Cup. This Pokemon is honestly quite a bit better than a lot of people I would expect. Main reason for this is you have a great typing and you have a ton of pressure. You have a ton of pressure with this Pokemon. You're going to have Dragon Breath damage, which is stab, which is doing a lot, which you're going to see here today as well. We're going to have Draco Meteor, which we're also going to land today, so that's going to be a fun one for that one. And Awkward here has a very fast charge move there. And so you know already Kingdra in this meta, which you have in this team as well, which does make a lot of sense to have like an ABB style line with both of them in one team. But basically Palkia does things a bit differently. Not better in general or worse in general, but just differently. And as you can see here, look at the fast move pressure compared to what Kingdra did. You basically do double the amount of damage and the opponent decides to forfeit here immediately. So next opponent, we're going to have your Abomasnow in the lead. Towards our team, there are a ton of different options that you can use in the lead, by the way. You cannot just want to have a lead that's going to be kinda anti-grass, mainly anti-Ferrothorn, because your backline is going to be quite weak to it, or also anti most of the fairy type Pokemon, which are not really that common anyway, but like would be something like a Whimsicott, an Azumarill, or a Dedenne, which we're gonna see today as well. So yeah, this is kind of what you want to have. Tropius is not necessary. Like if you don't have this regional variant, which has been I think released 2 or 3 times also for everyone in the wild, or like generally in Pokemon Go for like eggs and stuff like this, they had like events where you can hatch this Pokemon during the Hoenn tour. Yeah, if you don't have the Pokemon from there, then you can use Jumpluff. You can use something like Amoonguss is really good as well for this team. So like there are a lot of options. Here we're gonna see as well on how much damage we do. It's ridiculous against Pokemon like the opponents. Gaston here, we just completely destroy them. We're still gonna get knocked out there because we rather want to keep the shield for the Tropius here. This allows us to just get some more damage onto the opponent's Abomasnow, and with this we're going to be able to win the battle. While you're at it here as well, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like on this video. It would really help me out. It is free and yeah, it just really helps me out. I'm gonna take a look always at like the new Pokemons basically when I get them. And as you see here as well, we're going to have an Amoonguss against us. This Pokemon is actually quite awkward because if they were Shadow, it would have been so much better for us. The reason for this is, oh wait, they are Shadow, never mind, I just don't really see that. That's good job to me. I thought they were not Shadow because I was Shadow, but anyway, we see here that they just barely get to the foul play. My whole point would have been that if they would have been Shadow, they would have not been able to get there, but that is completely out of the question anyway. And as you can see here, we're just sadly gonna have a matchup where you just don't really get anywhere with any of our Pokemon. Like we're gonna have a pretty bad lead matchup, which is generally the case against Toxapex as well, where maybe Pokemon like Amoonguss would be a bit better for the lead. Because our backline does not really enjoy Toxapex either. And then we just had like Kingdra against our own Palkia. Yeah, it just didn't really work out in this battle, but it's okay. We still kind of got them kind of close there, especially as they decide to go for the Brine Bait. We still are not giving up here, but as you guys see here as well, we would have needed 1 or more Leaf Bait in order to knock out the opponent. We have a Leaf Bait stored here, but we are just not going to get to another one in order to get also rid of the final shield from the opponent. And so we're going to move on into the next opponent's matchup there as well, which is going to be totally fine because we're going to have a grass type against the grass type in the lead, but ours is a flying type as well, which is going to be great. The opponent stops out into the Bibarel. And this is going to be a matchup where I actually decide to stay in here because I kind of just want to get the shields on the opponent. I know that I can still survive a hit here. As we will see as well, we're going to have a Leaf Blade coming through. That's going to get the shield from the opponent, and we will go for the full farm down with our Kingdra now, and then we should be able to hopefully go for an Outrage against the opponent's Superior, which should kind of seal the deal here anyway, and then we just have to see what they're going to have in the back. So, Outrage is sadly not enough damage here to knock them out, but we will see the Frenzy Plant going to knock us out, and so it's all down to Palkia. And Palkia has a shield advantage, has energy advantage, and has an Alolan Golem against it, which means we can just go for the Awkward Heal, knock them out, and this is going to be perfect. As we will see here as well, the opponent has nowhere to go, and we can win this battle with Palkia. Moving on to the next opponent, we're going to have Typhlosion against us in the lead. There have been definitely some battles as well today that I definitely did not really have a great time with because of our favorite developer of this game. But yeah, for example, there are a lot of matchups here where Octazooka is just not going to get the debuff, which is fine. That is totally okay, don't get me wrong. It is a 50% chance, but it is just completely different matchups. Like, it's literally completely different matchups if you get the debuff or not, which is the main appeal of the King Draw, basically. Like, you kind of, if you're gonna get lucky with it, you're gonna be able to win so many battles that you should not win. And so I guess it is fair for me that I maybe were a little bit below odds today in terms of the debuffs that I'm gonna get with the King Draw. But of course it's gonna impact the battles, and that's literally all that's it to it. Also, a little bit of lag here and there as well. Wasn't too crazy though, like, but it still definitely impacted a bit. And also, look at this, we have a debuffed Draco Media here now against the opponent's Tropius, which is going to be able to just one-shot them still. And in comes the Typhlosion. We're gonna try our best. We could have went for the Aqua Tail here in time as well. I don't know why I didn't go straight for the Aqua Tail. Should have definitely done that. And here I wanted to swap out as well. I guess I just missed it the entire time. It looked really laggy to me when I played in real time, but I just missed the swap out the entire time for whatever reason. And so I'm gonna lose this battle. This was absolutely a battle that I should have won. But it's fine, like, we are not really gonna care too much about that anyway. We wanna move on to the next opponent. We're going to have the Lone and Golem, and we have kind of similar play as what we saw before as well. You could actually decide to let the move go through there because a Rock Blast is not going to be enough to knock you out. But it's of course a guessing game. If the opponent goes for a Wild Charge, it's goodbye to King Draw. But so far in 2 matchups there, Golem both went for the Rock Blast, which is not really doing that much damage compared to Wild Charge. So yeah, that's totally fine. You know what's also totally fine is gonna be able to take advantage of the opponent's Amoonguss here. Amoonguss, being a grass type, is gonna be weak to our fast move of Air Slash, which is also the main reason why I decided to go for Tropius, because I feel like this Pokemon has quite a lot of play in the current meta. And now we're going to have a ton of energy left, and this is going to be great against the Golem because we can force that final shield or the KO. We're going to take the KO, and they're going to reveal that they're going to have a jump love in the back where we can go for another aerial ace against the opponent. If we're going to get some damage onto them, they're basically in range for Dragon Breath down, and that's going to be basically on what we're going to go for. The thing is here, I actually still survive an aerial ace, but just with like 1 HP in a dream. But I have also an aerial ace stored myself for the jump love. So like I should be kind of fine for that later on as well. Tropius goes for the aerial ace, but we don't actually even need it because we can still take a hit here with our Palkia and just fully farm them down. Next opponent, we're going to have Marowak. I remember completely lagging in the beginning, as you can see as well. We got like 2 free fast moves for the opponent just to get hard rolled by Dedenne. And like this is the thing as well. Now Dedenne gonna go for a charge move. It's gonna be Parabolic Charge, which has a 50% chance, I think, to boost its own defense, which it gets straight away. I go for the Octazooka, 50% chance to drop the opponent's attack by 2 stages, which I don't get. And this completely, of course, can change entire battles if you get unlucky, especially with lag here, where I basically stand still again with my Tropius. And the opponent just gets a bit lucky. Like, this completely changes some matchups, but like, this is a game that we play anyway. Like, it's a game of chance, and that's totally okay. Anyway, we're gonna see here the Dedenne going down, which is okay for us. We're gonna swap out straight away into our Palkia, which is really good, because we're gonna do some solid damage here with Dragon Breath against the opponent's Marowak, and as we will see here, they're gonna have Cordillon in the back, and this means that this game is not over yet. And as you can see, we're gonna be able to go for 1 Aqua Tail here. This is gonna get the shield very likely, and we'll have a Steampita here. And if they go for a Rock Slide, they need 3 more fast moves. If they go for the Grass Knot, they need 4 more fast moves. I went for the Rock Slide, so we go ahead and go for a charge move here straight onto the opponent's Rock Slide basically. And I decided to go for 1 extra fast move and then swap out to catch the hit. Of course, it's gonna be super effective, but it should not be enough to knock us out. And they actually decide to undercharge it anyway, just to go into the Marowak. And what we see as well is we just stand still and we don't get another fast move in here. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because they're gonna knock us out here, but it is still unfortunate to see like all of the kind of small issues for the game. But it is what it is. That's the game we play. We're gonna move on now to the next opponent. We have again Toxapex in the lead, which I don't really like, but they swap out into the Gastrodon, and we can just hope to get the debuff here with our Octazooka again. We're gonna see here, it's going to connect, and we don't get the debuff again. And this again changes completely the matchup. Like, you would have been able to take hits way easier on the King Draw. We've been able to mostly either realign or get another shield from the opponent. But we're just gonna take the best thing out of it, and we're gonna try to go for the full farm down here now with our own Tropius, which is gonna be great. This is totally fine as well. As you're gonna see here, the opponent gonna to go for another charge move. It's gonna be a body slam. This is gonna be totally okay. And then comes Toxapex, and we're gonna get some nice damage onto the opponent now by going for the Leaf Blade spam. And we should hopefully put them into the range where we can go for the Dragon Breath down with our Palkia. This is at least the idea that I have here. Let's see if this is gonna work out. We're gonna swap out. We're gonna try our best to go for the full farm down, but they can still go for another charge move, which we have to, of course, shield up here. In comes Quagsire. Quagsire is gonna be a bit of a trickier one, but I feel like they should be kind of forced to go ahead and go for a Stone Edge here, because an Awkward Tail would be double resisted, and I don't think they're gonna go for it, and I don't think if they would go for it, it would knock us out. And so yes, they go for a Stone Edge, which gives us a little bit of, the option to overfarm by at least here one fast move with our Tropius, getting the Leaf Blade off, getting the KO here, and we just need one more Leaf Blade for the Toxapex to knock them out, which we can reach in time. And that's gonna be it for this battle, and we can move on to the second to last battle for today. Let's see what they're going to run. We're going to have Tropius against Typhlosion. We're going to swap out straight away, of course, into our Kingdra. They swap out into the Jumpluff, which is totally fine. As I had so many debuffs not given to me basically from Octazooka, I'd rather go for the safe play here. You can also always go for the safe play. Going for an Outrage here is going to allow you to either get the KO or get the shield. And I'm going to take the shield here from the opponent. Of course, now in hindsight, it would have been better to go for Octazooka, especially if you get the debuff. But again, I don't really want to take more chances because so far it didn't really work out too well for me. We see the acrobatics coming through from the opponent, and this is going to be a bit tricky because Area Ace would have been way easier for us to deal with. Acrobatics that had way more damage, and so it's down to Palkia with 2 shields against whatever the opponent has in the back. And I make a bit of a mistake here. I sure went for the Awkward Tail basically straight away. I tried to bait a potential hard-hitting charge move, but I don't think it was worth it, because if I just went for Awkward Tail the entire way, I actually would have been able to most likely get the KO here against the opponent. But what we're gonna see here now is that another Awkward Tail is just barely not enough, and I just needed the extra damage from the first Awkward Tail against the opponent's Dugong, and then I actually would have had a very good chance against the opponent's Typhlosion there as well. But I screwed this up myself, so good game to the opponent. We can move on to the final battle for today. We have a great lead for us, and we're going to have even a better say-so. We're going to have the Talonflame, and we should be able to outspeed them now, because Awkward Tail needs 12 fast moves from our side, which is 12 times a 1-turn fast move, and the opponent needs 15 turns total to go for their own first charge move. The issue is just with the second matchup here now, where the opponent, of course, identifies that. I know the opponent as well, by the way. It's the second account from someone who I featured quite often in terms of the teams. But, very good player here, for sure. But they definitely know what they're doing, and they were able to get basically 2 shields by investing 1 shield. And this is going to be very difficult because they have, sadly, the Toxapex in the back. And I don't really play it perfectly here. I try to play it energy efficient, which in this case I should have not done. I should have just went for the Leaf Blade, because I thought actually I would survive a Sludge Wave here. I'm honest, I thought I would have survived this one, which I sadly didn't with my Tropius. And this can actually change quite some things, because maybe a Leaf Blade would have been enough from this range. I'm not too sure about it. It is kind of literally there. If it would have, we would have been able to fully farm them down and win the battle straight away. Like this, we're going to lose this battle here. But this is going to be it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. And I will see you tomorrow as well for a lot of new Shadow showcases, which I'm all going to try to cover here on the channel. So I'll see you then. Bye bye.